Hi guys, today we are continuing with our planning and pre-writing phase. We have already done a plan for ourselves. We needed to look at the categories of habitat, where our animal lives. We were thinking about what it might eat, what it looks like, and we've already filled out a planning page that looks like this. And we wrote down what we know about our animals and then what we wonder. So today we are going to do some of our research to answer the questions of what you were wondering about your animal. Now, before we do that, I kind of wanted to talk to you about note taking. We will be taking some notes and you'll be using different things to give you information like your iPad and websites and books. So it's important that we only take down the information that is important or that we need to know. So when we are looking at note taking, we have to figure out what is trash and what are treasure words. So when we research, words are like the symbols on a pirate's treasure map. We only want the words that help us, which is treasure, and we ignore the other words, which we'll call trash. Treasure words are words that answer our questions. So those questions that we wrote yesterday, those will be what our treasure is. When we find the answers to our questions, we know those are important and that we should write that down in our notes. Trash words are all the other words on the page that might be good. We might enjoy learning about our animals, but they don't necessarily answer my question and they're not really that important when it comes to a research paper. When we take notes, we need to read and understand your research questions. So we'll underline keywords. All year we've been annotating, so this is exactly what we're going to keep doing when we're taking our notes. We may look at articles or websites or books, and we'll go through one sentence at a time. We'll stop at the end of each sentence and decide if there are any words that we can treasure. And we'll write those words in the right place on our notes. And you'll see what our note pages look like in a few minutes. Okay, so we'll practice. We'll pretend that our question is, what does a poison dart frog eat? And we'll be looking at some information online when we're doing our research, so we need to figure out what keyword we will underline. What does a poison dart frog eat? Eat is our treasure word. We underline the word in our question, and that's going to help us remember what we're looking for. So here's what an example of a page we might look at to find information about our animal. We can see the heading at the top says poison dart frog, and there's all sorts of information on this page. Oops. We're going to read one sentence at a time. The first sentence in that paper said, poison dart frogs are small, colorful frogs. Since we aren't looking for how they look yet, we need to find out what they eat. This information doesn't answer our eating question, but we will come back to this because we will wonder what they look like if we were using the poison dart frog as our animal. So here, there aren't any treasure words. It's not telling us what it eats. It's only telling us what they look like. The second sentence says, they live in warm, humid habitats. Well, we do need to know what habitat they live in, but since our question that we're trying to answer right now is about what they eat, we didn't find any treasure words. We need to find what they eat. Poison dart frogs eat phytoplankton and small insects. So yes, now we know what they ate. And this is what we would write down on our notes, which I will show you next. Great job, boys and girls.